So the first thing you want to do here on this job is remove this little plastic covering the shock bolts. Then you have 5 bolts under there, nuts and bolts. What I like to do is take 4 off and leave one, the easiest one that I can reach, almost all the way off. It'd be like that one. Leave it super loose. Take 4 off, leave 1 super loose. Then I come down here under the car and I remove this brake line. Then I remove these 2 bolts here. And then I remove this wheel speed sensor. Well, first, either or that first and then the wheel speed sensor. That is the sway bar link. Then I remove this wheel speed sensor, but you don't have to. As long as you take that wire off of the shock in the back, it's just as good as removing that. This is how it looks when it's all apart. You see? Out. That's out. And that's off. Sometimes you have problem with getting that off, so make sure you use some WD-40. Then I'll go up and take my 1 bolt and loosen it with my hand, and then it just falls right out. Yeah, you're gonna need an extension to get to some of them bolts. You need an extension and a swivel. I'm just showing you that. Here's my new shock. Now I'm just gonna place it, making sure it matches the one that I took off. Then I'm gonna place it in. Just make sure that your nuts and bolts go into the holes the same way. Don't worry if your the bottom of your shock is facing the wrong way. As long as it's the right shock, match it up to the one you took off. But then don't worry about the bottom. It may be turned a different way. Just put your nuts in, because the bottom part you can just turn. Sometimes your axle, the joint may come out the knuckle. And what I like to do is, I'm working in the air, but if I was working on the floor, I'll have my jack down there, right there, and I'll just pump it up a little bit. And then I would push right where my hand is, and that'll push the joint back into the knuckle of the axle. Just push it in hard. And then basically I'll just reverse the process and put everything in and back up. And if you don't want your axle to come out the knuckle, you can just do something like that. You see that? Tie it up. Makes the job easier. Just hook it up anywhere, just like how I did it. And that's basically it. Reverse pattern, everything back together. It's a simple way you do shocks on a CRV.